Lunch, everybody good? All invigorated, ready to go for the second half? Did you guys get any of these things that were out there? Do you know what they are? Well, I call them ises. That's the third baseman's arm right there, buddy. So back in the day, there was a cartoon on MTV, and it was called The Max. It was on Liquid Television, it was called. Look it up. It's actually really funky cartoon. And if you know me, I only watch sports and cartoons, so we can either talk about sports or we can talk about cartoons. And the cartoon, actually, they went back and forth between these realities, and there was these little guys that chased around the superhero Max. And in one world, everything was one color, and everything in another world was another color. And there were these little tiny guys that had these big heads, and they looked exactly like that, and they were called ises. And in one version, they were white, and in another version, they were black. So we had white and black ones of these, so I just call them ises now. I have no clue what they're actually called. But here's what they do. If you take it and stick it to the back of your phone and set your phone down, you can watch things on your phone without having to hold on to it. Oh, yeah. See, that's one of those things that, cool as hell, ain't it? Yeah, I didn't invent it, but I gave you one, so therefore, I am cool as well. I think we've got some more sitting around. If we don't, come find me. I've got them all over the place. Come to another SDL event. I'll have them all over the place there. They're a lot of fun, and they're just actually really cool. And when you're on an airplane, you want to pop it up, you can watch what you're watching. If you're sitting at work and you're pretending to be working and you actually want to watch the baseball game, you can just pop it up next to the monitor. Doug didn't hear that. But yeah, so it's good. So you've heard a lot of cool stuff about SDL, and we kind of talked a little bit before. We've touched on the fact that we held a hackathon overnight. I did see a lot of our hackers make it in. I hope you all got good naps. It was a very long night, I know, for quite a few of you. And thank you for participating again. And for us, hackathons are really a way, they're a way to get innovation. We speak a lot about some of the bigger brands that we work with. Everybody knows Pandora and Spotify. A lot of these brands that are really well known, and everybody has the app, which is really good because the whole point of SDL is to bring the habit that you've got outside of the car into the car with you and do it in an appropriate way. But what we want to have as well is we want to have this innovation. We want to have the cool new ideas and the cool new content that unfortunately you don't always see from a lot of the bigger companies because there's a little bit of bureaucracy here and there. There's goals that they have to hit. There's financial goals that they have to hit. Developers and individual developers and small development houses do some of the coolest things in the world. If you look at any of the apps that you use today, very few of them were a massive app outside of mobile and then went to mobile and all of a sudden found a great user base. You didn't know what a Twitter was before. You didn't know what some of you knew what a Facebook was. You went to college, right? Anybody? Yeah. I visited there for a little while. That was about it. But this is why we do hackathons. You uncover all of the really cool stuff that you really aren't going to see on a day-to-day basis. Again, with 20,000 developers in our ecosystem right now, that's a lot of people to talk to. It's a lot of companies and a lot of apps to look at. Believe me, because guess who they're asking to look at all the apps? Guess who's seen a lot of apps in his life? Guess who likes seeing the really cool ones come out of hackathons, though? It's a great thing. It's really cool, and that's the spirit of SDL. This is again why we're doing this. On the OEM side, on the supplier side, it's about having that capability and having that control in your vehicle. But from the developer side, it's, hey, I've got cool stuff, and I want people to be able to use that cool stuff when they get in the car. So we hold these hackathons. We've had them all over the world. It's a bunch of people in a big room, or sometimes in a small room. This year, for this conference, we did it at One Kearney, which is a beautiful venue. Thank you very much, DevMode, for finding that for us. It was a nice big venue. We could stretch out. We had seats. We had couches to take naps on. As a matter of fact, somebody was snoring when I walked in at 5:30 this morning. Are you here? I can't remember who that was. Somebody was in just sawing logs, though. So obviously it worked well. Had a really nice outside area where NAB pilot program was putting together a very nice happy hour for us. And then apparently we pissed off the gods because it started raining and thundering and lightning, and our outside rooftop happy hour became a very nice, very close, intimate inside happy hour, which was still very good, and thank you very much. It was a lot of fun. You know, it's a good way to, you know, to blow off some steam, obviously, to get people together. But again, you know, for our developers, we want to foster this relationship. We want developers to be part of the SDL environment, right? This is why we're doing a developer conference and why we do hackathons. So everybody gets together. Sometimes there's teams that were already formed, and they come together, and they've got an app. Sometimes it's a bunch of people just standing around that showed up and they wanted to learn about SDL. They wanted to learn about all these cool opportunities that are coming inside the vehicle, and 2 or 3 or 4 of them will get together and say, hey, you know, what are you thinking about working on? Oh, I've got this idea. And another guy's like, hey, you know, I got this idea. And this girl's like, hey, you know, I've been working on this on the side. And they'll come together and form a team. They don't even really know each other, but they speak the developer language. And when I say the geek language, I say that with respect. It is a cool geek language that I personally don't understand. One of the things, if you've heard me speak before, is I stand up here and I paint a whole bunch of pretty pictures, and then the smart people like Timur and Joey and the other guys on the team that you've met go, shut up, we can't do that. I'm like, you're smart, you'll figure it out. And that's what hackathons do, is the developers get together and figure it out. And they'll figure out some things sometimes that, you know, our team hasn't seen before. And it's a really, really uplifting thing for us to know that we're doing something that is accepted, something that the developers want to do, and bring that content to the people. So when we put these hackathons together, we bring in all kinds of technology. You've seen some of it in some of the presentations, like the emulators. You know, obviously you're downloading the SDK, you're using all the libraries to make your app and to come up with your idea and make it work. We have a test bench unit called a TDK. If you've seen one of those, it basically looks like a karaoke machine, and you can do karaoke on it. We've done karaoke at a couple of hackathons on one before. And the TDK is a test bench unit, and if you were to put wheels on it, basically it would drive away. It thinks it's a car. It's got all, it really does, because it's got all manufactured parts. It's not prototype, it's everything that you would see in a regular vehicle. So for the Ford version with the sync module and the display and all of your buttons and your voice, it's everything that you would find in a real car, so you can test against it. Timur and Joey both kind of showed on the emulator side all the cool stuff, you know, being able to take the vehicle data and simulate a drive and then test your app against real world conditions and see if it actually works. And the people are really important. There's our friend Timur helping at a hackathon in Guadalajara last year. And the development teams from Livio and Ford make themselves available. A couple of them were up all night, just like the hackers, and they're there, you know, delivering support. Some of the biggest issues and questions are, how do I get started? Where do I get started? I've got an idea, but you know, what do I do with it? And then when they get to the testing area, what am I supposed to do? How do I make sure that it works? And then you get that first moment when you see it connect, and you see them light up. And it's, you know, it's my baby. It just worked. It was great. What I thought actually happened. So a lot of times we'll make vehicles available, and you can actually test in a real vehicle outside of the emulator or the TDK. Unfortunately, we were on the 11th floor, and there was no room for a vehicle this time. But a lot of times we do like to have a vehicle there. Every once in a while, we get some visits from famous people. This was a hackathon in Dublin, actually just about 2 years ago now. And Mr. Bill Ford actually stopped by the hackathon. We had 35, 40 people there, you know, working away. And here comes Bill Ford and wants to talk to people and learn about what they're doing. You know, what are you working on? Really cool story is actually the gentleman that he's speaking with right there had a company in France that was working on some stuff, and they were working on their app and how to AppLink connect it, or how to connect it with AppLink, you know, through SDL. And so Mr. Ford had this conversation with them, and after about 5 or 6 minutes, he turns to one of his crew and he says, "Give me a Fontanellis card." So Fontanellis is his investment arm, his investment company. And the guy hands him a card and he says, "Here, and give me your card." we're going to call you tomorrow. And the next day, the guy actually got a call from Fontanellis, and they wanted to work with him. I mean, that's the power of SDL. That's the power of these hackathons and all the cool things that we can do. I mean, instantly, this guy who's, an icon in automotive is talking to some guy from France who started this little app, and he's like, yeah, let's work together. Let's bring you in. Let's work together and see what we can do. But most importantly at hackathons, they care that we feed them. We did a nice happy hour. They want to get pizza. They want to get Red Bull. We went through a lot of coffee overnight. I know that because I drank my share of it. But it's a relaxing, it's a good environment. We're there to foster this innovation, and this is why we really like doing this. This is on my side of the house. Obviously, you're hearing a lot from the technical folks, but so I chair the Developer Relations Committee in the SDL, and we've got a few of our members here as well who contribute. And this is what we do, right? This is the talking to developers. This is keeping them interested, bringing them on board so that they can do all this cool stuff that will work in our vehicles. So where they've got and where you've got opportunities in the car when you're a developer is in the safety aspect. Doug earlier talked about the V2X capabilities that SDL provides. Whether it's the vehicle-to-vehicle infrastructure, if it's talking to people. The whole point is now we've got these capabilities utilizing data, utilizing communications and connections over the phone or over the modem. And again, we're going to be able to build a lot of the safety intensive things. But there's going to be these ideas, there's going to be these cool things that come out of the developer community that are going to be brought in, and we're going to be able to adopt those as well. Vehicle diagnostics, so not only are you connecting to the rest of the world, whether you're driving the car, or somebody else is driving the car, or the car is driving itself, it's still a mechanical thing. It still needs oil, it still needs, fuel, or it's electric, it needs a charge. It's always gonna have tires, until we get to the flying cars. That's what, next week, week after? But it's always going to have all these things that are happening to it. And so the ability to access this vehicle data, again, is where the innovation is going to come back to us as OEMs and to us as SDL members. Utilizing that information to create the features and create the content that drivers or passengers are going to be using is the fun part of where we're at in the industry right now. There's a lot of discussion about autonomous and how autonomous is coming. And one of the messages that I deliver a lot is, the vehicle, the content arc in the vehicle is going to emulate the content arc in the living room. Radio, and then television, and then computers, and then doing all of those things simultaneously. That's where the vehicle is headed as well. So the content is going to be created by developers. This is the cool part of the SDL. We've got the automakers, we've got the suppliers, we've got all the vendors, and then we've got the developers. It's all part of the SDLC. Everybody is part of it. And when we combine all those things, if you're an IoT developer, and I love that term IoT, if you're an IoT developer, you're going to have access to creating almost all of the content. You're going to get access to some of the diagnostics, and you'll be able to contribute in some fashion to some of the safety. So you're going to have a big role. Part of the fun when we do all of this, of course, is that we get to take a look at the innovation. So in our hackathon that we held overnight, this is what we were judging on. We try to make it fun. It is a competition. Everybody is serious. I mean, if you're going to stay up for 24 hours and you're going to be working the whole time, you're serious. But it's about fun. What is the spirit? Did you have fun at the hackathon? Did you do something at the hackathon? Did you embrace the SDL spirit? Is it something that should be in the vehicle? There's lots of cool apps, but not everything should be in the vehicle. Is it innovation? Is it innovative? I keep saying that word, and that's what we're looking for. That's the exciting part of it. Part of seeing a lot of apps and seeing apps over and over again. Everybody's got a good idea, and what you see is it's the same mentality in different areas of the world is very similar. People are trying to solve the same problems, right? If you're out here, how do I get from downtown San Francisco to Palo Alto in less than 6 days. Right? I mean, you're trying to solve that problem. I live in Detroit. How do you get around the 7 million construction cones that are downtown Detroit right now? Because they're ripping out all the streets and redoing the streets. So this is what we applied to. This is the criteria we applied to our hackathon. And we are going to award some prizes. That's why I'm up here right now, droning on and on and on and on and on, so we can actually award some prizes. So our third place prize for this hackathon is a gift bag. And we have the gift bags right here. And they were donated by Ford Dev, which is us. And they've got Bluetooth a Bluetooth speaker in there, a nice new Ford Dev backpack. It's got a Yeti cooler, bunch of different things, bunch of fun stuff. Our second place prize, I think I mentioned all of this earlier, is invitation and passes to the iHeartRadio Live event during CES in January 2018. A very, very fun time, and hopefully our second place winners will be able to join us there. And of course, our first place prize, $5,000 cash. The only question is, how are you going to fold it up and put it in your wallet? I think you can do like mobile deposit on it or something now. So, yeah, you saw that, didn't you? See what happens when you push the buttons at the wrong damn time? So we had about 40, 45 developers show up, individual developers. We had 6 different teams who actually presented. That's a very good number. And just so we know all the different teams, and then you can give them a round of applause at the end. In the order that they presented were Team Pilot, Team TomTom, Team eCal Charge, Team Haas Alert, Peace Follow You, APRS, WhoMentors.com. So give them all a round of applause for competing. Who wants to guess who got third? Anybody? Come on. All right, Haas Alert, third place. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations. Thanks. Give us your names and tell us a little bit about what your app was.
My name is Bill Gloff. I'm VP Engineering at Haas Alert.
Hi, I'm Trigar Patel, CTO at Haas Alert. And so our app alerts motorists of emergency vehicles that are in the vicinity.
Very cool. How did you enjoy the hack? You got third place, so hopefully you enjoyed that.
Yeah, we did.
Tell us, I'm sure you've done some hacks before or some other things. How was this event?
Actually, this was our first hack.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, and
so it was the best one you've ever been to.
It was the best one that we've ever been to. And actually, Bill has just joined the team within the last week, too. So we just learned about the hack about a week and a half ago, and I called him before he even committed to joining the team and told him that we're coming out to San Francisco to do this hack, and we're really excited about it. So.
Great, excellent. Yeah. Well, congratulations again.
Cool.
If you guys want to grab your prizes and have a stand right over there, we'll bring the rest of the winners up, and we'll do a picture with everybody eventually.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks.
Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you. Round of applause. I didn't go any further than this one, right? You guys don't know who's in second. All right, making sure. So, second place, Team TomTom. See, there you go. What enthusiasm, yeah. Come on up. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Well, congratulations. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, give us your names and tell us a little bit about, tell us a little about the TomTom app and what it does.
So, my name is Rolf Dorland.
Yeah, I'm Stanley.
Yeah, I'm Tom Chen.
Yesterday was mostly about, first of all, having the TomTom app work on an SDL-capable device. And of course, our focus was mostly on really leverage on that vehicle data.
Excellent. Did you enjoy the hackathon? Did you guys have fun? Anything exciting about the hack?
Well, yeah, for me, it was mostly about the location. I thought it was awesome. What about you?
Yeah, it's my first time joining this hackathon, and it's also my first time being in San Francisco. So everything is new to me, and I feel exciting, so I don't even get asleep.
Yeah, actually for me, we had a lot of fun. Yeah, it's also my first time to have Red Bull.
And did you like it?
Yeah, sure.
Very much. Excellent. Let's get you this so you can get a little representation. They can get you a picture. Excellent. Come on over to this side of the stage, and we will hand off our grand prize of $5,000. And I know you guys didn't see this one. So we had 3 judges, and we judge on a numbered scale based on the criteria that you guys saw. And every once in a while, you get really close. We still haven't had a tie yet, which is good. But I do believe that between second place and first place, this is the very first time in the history of SDL and this one-time hack, but in the history of Ford and doing hacks as well, that our first place team won by 1 point. Sorry, Tom. 1 point. And that 1 point and the $5,000 goes to Team APRS. Congratulations.
Wait, pictures.
You gotta get one with that too.
Sure. Thank you.
So congratulations, give us your name and tell us a little bit about the app.
Sure. My name is Rommel Fox. My corporation is WhoMentors.com Incorporated. It's a nonprofit research organization. And I wanted to concentrate on something that could be used right away in millions of cars. As an Air Force officer, I'm an air battle manager, and IoT connectivity is one of the bigger things we always focus on in managing planes and troop movements and so on, search and rescue. So this opportunity presented itself to figure out what is useful to Ford particularly. And when I went on the website to find out the battle between Sync and another competitor I won't name, but we went to the website and discovered that the website didn't even identify for the F-150 what its emergency assistance would be. And so I started thinking what could be a simple, inexpensive solution. And it's called the Automatic Packet Reporting System, APRS. What that means is that since 1982, there's been a two-way radio system available, actually with satellites and so on, that people can actually access to identify people who are actually identifying their beacon and locations. So if your car breaks down and so on and you don't have a competitor like OnStar and so on, you can actually identify people by their call sign and send your location directly to them and ask them to come and rescue you.
Excellent, and I can tell you, as I said earlier, I'm always looking for, and we're always looking for that, that app that we haven't really seen before. And that app was similar in some other fashions, but in the way that you did it, I hadn't seen it before, so I was very impressed. Thank you very much. And you came up with the idea basically at the hack?
Yes, like I say, there's tough competition, there's newbies, and offering assistance to others, and then you go through the different technology, you read through it, and you finally get the epiphany that, okay, this is the capability of the system. Of course, you want to do more, and then you find out the parameters, and then you realize, okay, this is possible, and it took me down that path, and that's the result.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much, and congratulations again.
Thank you.
Woo! Everybody in here, let's get a picture of all the winners.
Augmented reality check.
Take the lens off. There, lens cap. There you go.
Autographs? Get your autographs?
If I can sign that, I can put it in the bank, right? Sure. All right, excellent. Again, congratulations, everybody, and congratulations to all the hackers. Thank you very much.